Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Get woke, go broke. Another get woke, go broke video is what I got for you guys today. And whenever we cover one of these topics, we always got to give the mic to Don45, President Donald Trump, to kick off the video right.
Everything woke turns to shit, okay?
Everything woke turns to ish. Donald Trump said it right, and of course he is absolutely accurate, right on the money, and it's happening once again, this time to woke Starbucks. Starbucks is allegedly closing 16 stores over employee safety concerns. Essentially, they're closing stores over rampant drug use and crimes in 5 major cities. I wonder if those are Democrat cities. No, of course not, they couldn't be. So it's very similar to what we covered with Walgreens closing 17 stores in California not too long ago, except the only difference is Walgreens has been a very vocal critic against woke prosecutors and lenient policies in the state of California and other big Democrat cities. Starbucks has been more of a promoter of the woke doctrine, I guess we could say. I'll show you guys what I mean by that, involving a major example from I think a year, maybe 2 years ago. So of course we got some stuff to get into. Let's continue on the saga of everything woke turns to ish. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright friends, so here's the report. Starbucks to close 16 US stores because of crime and rampant drug use. Starbucks is shuttering 16 store locations nationwide after store managers reported a surge in drug use among customers and outsiders, as well as an increase in crime in certain areas. 6 Starbucks locations will be closed in the company's hometown of Seattle, and 6 more will be shuttered in the Los Angeles metro area. 2 Starbucks restaurants will cease operating in Portland, Oregon, while 1 store each will close in Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. What do you notice about all of the city names that were just listed? Every single one of them is not just a Democrat city. We're talking about Democrat strongholds that have totally subscribed to the woke legal doctrine, leniency on criminals, and even beyond that, essentially endorsing criminals in certain ways. Every single one of those cities are the worst offenders. Seattle, Portland, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. Those are the exact places that we have been reporting on when it comes to the crime surge, when it comes to woke prosecutors who refuse to prosecute crimes, the totally hands-off legalization of drugs, which look could be decent policy if it's done properly, if you're actually caring for these people. But of course, as we know with these liberals, they take a hands-off approach and just let crime fester. We're not going to prosecute drug users is what they say, which is fine. You probably don't want to criminalize people who are struggling and people who have serious problems, but the idea that you should just let them roam the streets and wreak havoc across the city, let them run rampant, committing crimes all over, breaking into people's homes, stealing from stores, assaulting people, going through drug-induced psychosis on every single corner block, is something only a liberal could do and endorse. And while the idea of endorsing, well, that might be Starbucks' problem here. They've endorsed all of the liberal garbage that we have seen over the last couple of years. Starbucks manager quits over woke culture that led to bullying and division. Starbucks is the latest woke company planning to cover employees' abortion expenses. Starbucks is considering quitting Facebook because of, quote, hateful responses to its woke posts on social issues. Starbucks rejects protecting conservative employees. And of course, probably the best one, at least in relation to what's going on right now, how Starbucks got tangled up in LA's homelessness crisis. Starbucks has essentially opened up their location to the country's homeless. There is an epidemic in Starbucks of homeless people coming in, not only sleeping there or loitering, but using the Starbucks restroom as their own personal space to shower in the sink. Take a look at this. A lot of homeless people that do tend to come in, and they will buy a cup of coffee. They use the restroom as their shower time, he says. They'll take off their shirts, they'll bathe themselves, and when they leave, the whole bathroom is just completely destroyed. Some current employees, who aren't even allowed to speak on tape, had similar complaints. Woke policies that have enabled this stuff. And look, I get it, it makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, but how absolutely stupid is it to be running a business and to be enabling and supporting the homelessness crisis, enabling and supporting terrible liberal policies by allowing your establishment to be used by homeless people at the expense of your patrons. This is the kind of naive, la-di-day, latte liberal garbage that never ends right. This is what happens when your corporate board is totally woke and you buy into the California, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia Democrat ideology. Your business gets ransacked and destroyed destroyed because your focus, just like Democrats, seems to be enabling bad behavior and enabling criminals instead of enabling law-abiding regular people. The same thing we always see. Leftoids seem to bend over backwards for people who show a total disregard for the law-abiding citizens that are the backbone, the pillar of a civilized society. We see it over and over and over again, enabling and finding excuses for criminals who show a total disregard for everyone else's property or other people's safety. They say they're being compassionate, but it seems like they're being compassionate towards everybody except for the majority of the American population that deserves compassion. They claim that they're so compassionate, but they create these absolutely terrible environments where not only businesses like Starbucks and Walgreens and others cannot thrive, they cannot survive, but they create environments that are detrimental to everybody, and especially children. There's this video that went viral on Twitter the other day, and it's probably the perfect thing to exemplify the point that I'm trying to make.
Hey, bye, kids. Y'all get home safe, okay? Y'all get home safe. My little partners out here, get home safe, all right? Come on, man. These little kids gotta walk through this shit. This shit is crazy.
These are the environments that Democrats and these woke companies that enable Democrats are creating. This is what left-wing compassion looks like. Does that seem compassionate to you? Or is that not a ridiculous sight that no child should ever have to walk through or experience? When are people going to say enough is enough? That is really what I'm thinking. When is enough enough? When have people and corporations and companies had enough of the radical left and their ridiculous ideas that do nothing but make things worse? Think about the last 20 years. It's been nothing but the new liberal world order all across the Western world basically since Barack Obama was elected. Not exactly 20 years, but anyways, you guys get the point. And has life gotten better? It's gotten progressively worse. Progressively worse. I guess pun unintended. The same people who claim that they're making life better and progressing towards the future, the same people who are just so compassionate, do nothing but cause pain and misery and a lower standard of living for everybody else. And it applies to every single policy. Actually, speaking of pain and suffering, with their faux compassion, here's another example, the southern border. The only people that liberals are compassionate towards are drug cartels, enabling them to make billions upon billions of dollars as more and more people lose their lives. I can't show you guys the video on YouTube, but just the other week there was a journalist from Texas videotaping a morgue on wheels at the southern border with like 37 bodies in it. Ma open borders, ma every life counts, ma borders are racist, as they enable human smuggling and drug trafficking and have created, as the United Nations now claims, the deadliest land crossing on planet Earth, the southern US-Mexico border. The compassionate liberals, ma Black Lives Matter, as they enable criminals defund the police, and have created once again a scenario where more young black life is being taken than ever before. I could go on and on with the examples. You guys know the examples. You see the hypocrisy. Once you see it, you can no longer unsee it. And so all I have to say to Starbucks is get woke, go broke. You took sides with the woke radical left and the Democrat Party. You made your bed, and now you gotta sleep in it. What a joke. Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Seattle, Portland, Oregon, and Los Angeles. Before reading the article, those are the cities I was expecting. I was also expecting New York and San Francisco, but there's still some time. We'll probably see those show up on the list as well in the not too distant future. That's what I got for you guys though. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.